make you mad. It's probably going to make you upset. And if you're new to this channel, you've never heard me say this before, then welcome to the channel. So, but if you guys have watched this channel, you've heard me say this, and I know a lot of you don't agree. I know you guys are probably going to jump in my comment section and say bad things and negative things, and you're probably going to call me some names, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. But what I'm going to tell you, or what I'm going to say, is what I believe about money. And I believe that saving money, yes, saving money, yes, I believe saving money is one of the absolute worst things that you can do with money today. I believe that saving money is one of the absolute worst things that you can do with your money today. Now, why do I believe this so strongly? And I'll talk about that. First, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. Welcome to the channel. I'm Shon-Jhon, aka the Middleman CEO. I usually it's not secure and they need to find another way to make money. And what I do is I teach people how to ban. You simply partner with service businesses that I think service businesses are great now because AI can't replace the lawnmower service, can't replace the window cleaning company, the moving company. So I partner with those companies and I teach them how to, I teach them how to build successful middleman companies from their phone, working about 1 hour a week. If you do it correctly, it's fully automated, so it's very easy. But if you want to learn how to build a middleman company, or if you want to learn a little more about becoming a middleman, all you have to do is tap the link in the comments below, or the link in the first comment below. I'll pin it, or just put the word middleman in the comments below. So I believe personally that, and again, this is just my belief, my conviction. You don't have to. You don't have to think this way. You don't have to believe this way. I'm just bringing this to light because I know people are obsessed. I still get online today and I see so-called gurus, and I'm not, that isn't meant to, take a shot at anybody, throw shade at anybody. I'm not saying that, but they call themselves gurus, right? So these folks are on YouTube. These guys and girls are on YouTube, and they're giving out financial advice. And I see it on social media platforms like Instagram and whatnot. Here's what you need to do to get out of a jam. Here's what you need to do to become unstuck. And that's going to include 6 months of savings, 1 year of savings. And I want you to know that people have been saying that for a very, very long time. As long as I can remember, people have always said, you need an emergency account. You need a rainy day account. And you guys have heard people say that. I have. But let me ask you, when was the last time you heard someone say, I need an opportunity account? You need an opportunity account. You need to save money to be prepared for an opportunity. But no, people don't say that because 90% of people have already been programmed. What do they say? They say, you need money. Let me know. Smash the thumbs up if you've ever heard someone say this. You need to save 6 months to a year of savings for an emergency account. You need to have 6 months to a year of savings for a rainy day account. If you've ever heard someone say that, if you've ever heard someone say that directly to you or to someone else, or if you've ever seen it on social media or YouTube or television or wherever, books, media, doesn't matter. If you've ever come across that advice, you need to save money for a rainy day or an emergency, then smash the thumbs up and let me know. Let me know in the comments if you've heard the 6 months or the 12 months, because I've heard both. I've heard save for 6 months and I've heard save for 12 months, for a year. Let me know in the comments which have you heard about, the 6 months or the year or even more. Now, here's what I want you to think about. Here's what I want you to think about. By the way, and this is gonna sound contradictory right up front, but it's not, and I'll break it down if you allow me. By the way, I'm not telling you that saving money or that you should have $0 in your bank account. That's not what I'm telling you. All right, stick with me. Don't save money. It's the worst thing I can do. And then you tell me don't have zero in my bank account. So how does this work? What you talking about, right? So we're going to meet in the middle. But the first thing I need to do is reprogram you so you stop thinking about money and tying it to bad things. So first of all, what's an emergency account? Something bad happens. What's a rainy day account? Something bad happens. You don't have the cash. First thing I would teach you is number one, stop calling your savings account a rainy day or an emergency account. Now, why? Why is that important? What I name it? Because I believe you can manifest certain things into your life. Now, we're not wizards. We just can't speak and things happen. That's not how it works. But I believe you can create the energy that can create the result. So I believe that if you continue to say it's an emergency account or rainy day account, then that account cannot be successful. I'll say it again. That account, that rainy day or that emergency account cannot be successful unless it encounters or has a what? Rainy day or an emergency. So your account can't even be successful unless these bad things happen. So I always say, hey, change the name of your account from an emergency account or a savings account or a rainy day account, because if you name it a savings account, the goal is to save money. That's your programming. If you, you did call it a savings account, right? So the goal of the account is what? Save. We don't want to be in the habit of just saving. Number two, if you name it an emergency account, the goal of the account is to have a what? Correct, an emergency, which you don't want to have. Yes, I know life happens, but you don't want to manifest that. Number three, if you call it a rainy day account, it can't be successful unless it has a what? A rainy day. So we don't call them that. I call my accounts opportunity accounts. And that's kind of a segue into why I say, or why I believe, that stacking money in the bank for the purpose of just stacking money in the bank and waiting on bad things to happen is a terrible idea. That's why I believe that stacking money in the bank for the purpose of stacking money in the bank to leave it there and wait on bad things to happen is a terrible idea. First thing I taught you is that you need to change the name of your account from an emergency account, from a savings account, from a rainy day account to an opportunity account. If it's an emergency, you seek emergency. If it's a savings account, you seek to save. If it's a rainy day account, you seek to have rainy days. But if it's an opportunity account, guess what you manifest? Guess what you seek or look for rainy days? I know what I would choose. So now that we've established you need to rename your account. Now, why do I say that saving money in the bank is a terrible idea? Well, there's a bunch of reasons, but I'll just hit you with a few. Number one, inflation. The cost of everything around you going up. It continues to go up. It does not look like it wants to come down. Even if it does, it's gone up so significantly over the past 3 years, you ain't going to feel it if it comes down. You won't even know. They say the housing market has crashed. Can you tell? I can't. It sure looks like it's overpriced to me. By the way, saving money is probably the second worst thing you could do next to buying houses, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. And I know realtors don't want to hear that, but it's true. Buying houses, good Lord. 20% down. You want to tie up your money in that garbage? All right. Stay focused, Sean. Stay on track. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. Welcome to the channel. If you want to learn how to start a middleman business from your phone, you want to learn more about it, click the link in the video description below, pinned in the comments below. All right, so let's wrap this up because I know you guys have things to do. I have things to do. So just kind of giving you my mindset when it comes to saving money. So people tell you save 6 months to a year. Now, they've been saying this for decades. But let me ask you, even with that advice that you've known for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, how much have you saved? How much have you been able to save? What has it done for you? Has it gotten you out of financial purgatory? Has it gotten you out of the struggle lane? For most people, no. So if saving money, here's a question that'll make you say, if saving money was a key to financial freedom, then why don't the banks save money? If saving money was the key to financial freedom, then why don't the banks save money? All right, I'll let you answer that. So say you stack money in the bank, most people 6 months to a year. Now let's say that person's utilities, their expenses for the month is, we'll say low, we'll say 2,500. That's low today. So 2,500. So for 6 months, 2,500 is, I want to say 15,000. And then for a year, it's 30,000. All right, listen. So for 6 months, like they tell you, 6 months of savings at 2,500, that's low end. I know most of you have double that. But 6 months of savings at 2,500 is $15,000. A year is $30,000. So most people in America have, I think it's like 80% or more, have less than 5,000 in their savings account. So who's going to be saving? Who are we talking to that's supposed to be saving 6 months to a year? Most people in America have been saving until they can't save anymore, and they still can't get 6 months in the bank because life and expenses. So my goal is, why fight that battle? Or my thinking is, why fight that losing battle? How long have you been saving? What have you got in the bank? What has it done for you? Exactly nothing. So why sit there and fight that struggle again and again each year and end up depressed? A better idea would be to take some of the money out of the savings account today. And then, Sean, what do I do with the money? Great question. Glad you asked, because I have the answer. Learn to use the money to make more money. Well, how do I do that? However you can. Figure it out. Buy a lawnmower. Buy a pressure washing machine. Do the neighbor's yards and trash cans. Buy a lawnmower and cut lawns. Print out flyers and walk dogs. Babysit kids. Buy a vending machine. Start a side hustle. Invest in Bitcoin, invest in gold, invest in silver, invest in the stock market, the NASDAQ 500. I'm sorry, the NASDAQ or the index, whatever. What am I telling you? I'm not telling you exactly how to do it, because whatever works for you works for you. I'm just telling you, it's better to take the money that's sitting in the bank dead. Yes, it's dead because it's not alive. It's not doing anything for you. In fact, the banks have already gotten rid of it. As soon as you drop your money off at the bank, what do you walk out believing? That the banks are going to save it in a drawer and watch it? No. The banks can't wait to get rid of it. They pay you no interest. You got inflation. Your money sits there. It does not make money for you. And worst of all, you miss opportunity because you bury money that you could be using for something else. A better plan of execution would be to take some of the money and go, how can I use this money to make more money? And then start looking at all the ideas that you can use to generate income. Whatever it is, even if it's small, I don't care if it's a gumball machine making $50 a month. It's not even important how much money, the side hustle money. Somebody let me know if this is good advice in the comments. The habit of using money to make more money is what we want to accomplish. Now, when that day comes and you lose your job, because you will, because there are no 10, 20, 30-year jobs. So you're going to lose your job. I guarantee that. Now, when that day comes and you lose your job, you'll be like, I'm good, because I already started practicing how to make more money. You guys are still practicing how to save money, not understanding that that money is dead. You may as well throw it off a bridge. That's why it's one of the worst things you can do with money. In fact, imagine you put your money in the bank and you're like, I'm just going to save it. Well, honey, your money's not even there. Well, what happened? Well, the banks used it. Well, here's some advice. Don't do what the banks tell you to do. Do what the banks do. Do what they do with your money. You do it. You can do it. It's legal. But you've been so brainwashed and programmed, you don't take any chances. You just play by the rules. I'm telling you, you gotta stop playing by the rules. The old rules, that is. I used to be a blackjack dealer and people would play by the rules and lose. And then somebody would come in and say, you know what? I've been losing, split tens. What? Whole table go crazy. I love it because, man, we need anything to change the way this game is going. Because I ain't making no money, right? So split those tens. Let's go. Just try anything. So I'm just telling you before I get off here, just try something. If you want to use some of that money to start a middleman business, you're like, Shon, teach me how to build a business from my phone. Put the word middleman in the comments. That might be a way you can make money by middlemaning other businesses. Uber does it. Airbnb does it. Lyft does it. Craigslist does it. Fiverr does it. All of these companies, DoorDash, they're all middleman companies. They don't do any of the work you think they do. Uber is a transportation company. Uber does not drive you around. Charles in his mama's Oldsmobile drives you around. Kim and her mother's Camry drives you around. Not Uber. Uber's chilling in their office or on the beach. They're just a connection company like Tinder, okay? So, but let me know if that's something you want to learn. I'll teach you personally how to do it. So, and seats are limited because I cannot work with everybody. So move quickly. We only take a certain amount of people each month. And so now we're going into the September batch. You better move quickly. But again, saving money, one of the worst things you could do with money, use the money to make more money. That's the rule. Do what the banks do, not what they tell you to do. You stack money in the bank, now you got dead money. You worked hard for nothing just to put money in the bank. How stupid. Don't do that. And these gurus telling you to, save 6 months, folks have been trying to save money for 30 years and they still can't save it. It's almost impossible today with salaries, when salaries meet up with inflation and cost of living. It's almost impossible to save money. Well, instead of doing that, how about use what you do have access to make more money? How about that? I got a friend one time and he was going through something and he said, I'm gonna, when I get the extra money, I'm gonna, do A, B, and C with it. And I was like, well, how much you have in your bank account? He was like, I got a few, X amount in months. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, I'm going to use it to pay my rent for the next few months. And again, I was like, what? So you're going to sit on saved money waiting for your rent to be due when you could use the money now to do something now, to create cash flow now, so that when your rent is due, you don't need a savings account. You can just pay for it with the money from the asset. I was like, bro, you already have everything you need. What are you doing? All right, we'll leave it at that. All right, guys, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. I'll see you on the next video. Hope this video helps you in some way. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree or disagree. I know I catch a lot of flack for saying this, but I just believe that the days of saving money are gone. They're wasted. Doesn't mean have zero in your account. Just means don't just keep stacking and money in your bank account and leaving it there. If you're going to stack money, have a purpose for it and not emergencies or rainy days. Look for opportunity. Rename your account opportunity account. I promise you opportunity is going to find you. See you guys on the next video. Share the channel with at least one person if you don't mind. Peace.